Safety is a primal human need, and for generations, one brand has stood guard for Indians everywhere. I'm talking, of course, about the Godrej Group, and I'm here to speak with Shyam Motwani, who's the business head of the Locks and Architectural Solutions business, which is a part of the sprawling Godrej Enterprises Group. So we'll be talking about the future of safety and, of course, about the art and craft of mindful leadership in our next episode of Leaders in Focus. Hello viewers and welcome to another episode of Leaders in Focus. With me is Shyam Motwani. He's the business head of the Locks and Architectural Solutions business, which is a business unit of the Godrej Enterprise Group. Mr. Motwani, thank you for being here with us.
My pleasure.
So Mr. Motwani, it goes without saying that the Godrej Group has a very strong legacy in India. When you're steering the brand or this business unit into a new era of AI and smart homes, what's the one traditional value that you hold dear that you refuse to let go of?
Over a period of time, the brand has actually built a huge customer base in India. One can safely say that 1 out of every 2 to 3 homes in India may have a Godrej product today. And to support the kind of base of products that we've installed, I think requires a lot of effort, and that has actually been one of the things that has held the brand together for a very long time. And even today, I think given the globalization that we witness, brand Godrej has always stood out as one which really is the closest to the customer's heart and has been supporting the customer in any which way possible.
Yeah, right. So, of course, you are the custodian of this piece that really prioritizes hardcore security on the one hand and architectural beauty on the other. In a manner of speaking, then, how do you navigate that tension, that kind of exists between making the product impenetrable to anybody who has a malified intent versus also making it something of a design statement of beauty? How do you strike that balance?
The category of architectural solutions took birth because the front end had about a lot of commonality in the channel that we were present in for decades for locks.
Right.
So that drove the decision. But then at the back end, you have dedicated top talent working on both the categories. So traditionally, we've always had top talent in design, engineering, manufacturing, and sales and marketing.
Right.
When it came to the core category of locks and safety solutions, we were also offering bespoke solutions to various industry verticals. And then when we forayed into this category of architectural solutions more than a decade back, we also focused on getting the right talent for driving this. So therefore, we chose to then onboard industrial designers who have a design kind of a sense of doing things which are of architectural nature, which are high on aesthetics. Had an extension of our organization, especially the design and development team, with a design studio which was entirely dedicated to our work. Way back in 2010, and we tied up with a design studio and started this whole journey of design-led product innovation. And then we got this category of architectural solution, and over a period of time we have now added talent which is getting into industrial design of all sorts, and therefore locks and architectural solutions. So, dedicated people for both design, engineering, manufacturing and all of that is helping us, manage this or maintain this balance.
So on the topic of safety, Mr. Motwani, I know you recently released your Har Ghar Surakshit digital film, which talks about digital oversharing and the perils of all of that. Talk to us about that shift in narrative and that increasing convergence of digital and physical safety.
I think one must remember that what at the end of the day offers real safety to any home is the physical safety.
Absolutely.
It's a barrier. And the barrier has to be strong enough to delay anybody trying to attempt a break-in. So that will always stay. Now, what you have done when it comes to bringing digital along with it is you have kind of applied the layer of the advancements that digital technology is witnessing around the world. So therefore, you added that layer as a way to access the lock at your door. Earlier, the access was using a mechanical key. Now, mechanical keys have their own, in a way, integral to or inherent to the way you open your door or open your lock, has some downsides to it. And then the fear of what could happen if it landed up in wrong hands. the trend that you're seeing in India with a lot of working population, both men and women now, and when they set up their home, obviously they're worried about many things, and rightly so. So that's where in 2016 or about that time, we decided to get into digital and blend digital technology with mechanical technology. We were offering technologies which were kind of so advanced that if I were to make your lock with a key, that key would never get replicated or duplicated even after 30 trillion such keys were made. Almost 7 times, or maybe now 4 times the size of the globe. Yeah. But then ultimately it was the physical key. Yeah. It still had the risk of being, copied at least once. Now, with the advent of digital technology, we realized that we could blend that as an interface with the mechanical and provide bespoke access to the home. So we blended that digital technology with mechanical, which was our forte, and brought in the digital stuff.
Speak about that, digital and physical coming together. But you also spoke about talent earlier. Let me try and marry these two, threads together, weave them together. In the sense that, of course, what you all have done traditionally, like you alluded to as well, is that the business has been very manufacturing oriented, and now you've got a lot of new age digital talent also entering the workforce. Is there perhaps, from your perspective, from your vantage point, any significant learning or maybe unlearning or shift that came about from trying to straddle these two, the traditional piece of manufacturing and this new digital age of talent, then bringing them together?
I mean, we are at the beginning of a learning curve in digital,
right,
if I may say so. Even after being in this digital business for almost 10 years now, our self-reliance on doing it ourselves, the digital stuff, over the last few years, is still telling us that there are a lot of things that we need to take care of. So first, of course, is talent again. In the 3 specific areas when it comes to digital. One is about software design, then there is hardware. So you have to acquire talent in these 3 areas basically. So we have, over the last 3 to 4 years, added more people and talent in our organization to manage this new digital learning that we are getting into. And we are still learning a lot because, the issue is that you still have to rely a lot on things that we are not making in India. So, for example, the semiconductors, the chips, and many things that go into the making of a PCB. We are still kind of on the learning curve. So, it's not an easy task. And then bringing all of this together in your factory and assembling it, which is very different from how you do an assembly of a mechanical lock. Yeah. Setting up the entire factory for digital is a completely different task altogether. So you have to do a lot of things. So first and foremost, you have to ensure that the factory space is completely clinical. Yeah. And you have to make sure that your flooring is ESD proof. Your workmen are wearing the right kind of aprons and caps and gloves to make sure that they do not touch the components with their own hands, because there's a charge that gets transferred onto so that may interfere with the working. So many things that we are learning. So it's not an easy task. It's not the same as doing mechanical. And mechanical, we've had number of years of experience of designing, engineering and manufacturing and then marketing it. So I think it's but it's an interesting thing, because at the end of the day, it is helping us to even get more savvy with safety, which is our core strength. So I think we are at it, and I think it will be a matter of time that we would be at the top of the learning curve shortly.
So let's talk a little bit about Shyam Motwani, the man himself. Away from work, how would those that know you best describe you?
I enjoy cooking. So I do a lot of cooking myself. But that's been my passion.
What would you cook up if you were cooking up a storm for your guests? What would the typical menu look like?
Well, if it is something to do with meat, then it would largely be, I think, seafood. Okay. And if it is vegetarian, then it would be a host of things, depending on what's the stuff which is seasonally available. Okay. So I would end up doing some kind of a nice vegetable, maybe a curry or a stew, or for that matter, a side dish, which could also be, made out of some of these lentils that we use at home. So different types of lentils, and mixing them together, blending them together, and serving with Indian chapati or rice or pulao. So these are things which I like to dabble in. So I do a lot of this cooking every day. Even even as of today, I cook almost every day, every evening, because that actually allows me to de-stress.
Yeah.
It actually allows me to also become more patient in life. Because you've got a lot of...
Helps you in the office as well?
Very much, very much. And first and foremost, it helps you to be more organized. Because when you start cooking, you have to organize the entire stuff around you. And so many things you have to bring together, okay, and you have to then place them properly, so that it involves less of picking up things and finding right things at that time when you're cooking, because cooking doesn't take that much time, but putting all of them together takes a lot of time and effort. So I don't find the cooking part of it very difficult, but preparation is very difficult. That teaches you a lot of patience. So how do you get ready for cooking? So all the cleaning, washing, cutting, slicing, dicing, all of that. And then the actual cooking starts. So I think it allows you to de-stress. Also, it allows you to keep applying your mind to how do you get better at that. So thinking of new ideas. So you can actually do a lot of experimentation with cooking as well. Sometimes you add a few additional spices. Sometimes you try something else, My family enjoys eating whatever I make, so good.
And before I let you go, Mr. Motwani, I'd love to know if any piece of advice you might have received down the years as a professional or at a personal level that really helped you out over the years.
My mummy told me when I was in the corporate world about few years, maybe 9 years or 10 years, that don't chase money, because you will not find permanency in any organization that you want to build your career in. So you must have a lot of patience and don't just copy others, because they may be having their own motivation and reasons for chasing money. But money will come to you, and money is not so important beyond a point on time, because at the end of the day, there's many more things that you need, and organizations value longevity of their employees, and people who have grown with the organization have been with the organization and, of course, totally committed and loyal to the organization. That has its own benefits. So that was one advice that has stayed with me, and I always keep telling my own people around me and those I meet with and the new people who join, that they must look to make a career in an organization. It's okay, if you want to move a couple of organizations, but at some point in time, you may have to look at building a career and making positive contributions. Unless you make something which really matters and impacts the performance of the organization, and unless that comes from you, there is no satisfaction. So then you are almost like a paying guest who comes in, spends some time in the organization, and then walks away or walk away. So I think that's what I think has been something which has stayed with me.
Mr. Motwani, thank you so much for being here with us. It was a pleasure having you with us on this episode of Leaders in Focus.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Whether you're talking about the precision that comes to engineering safety or the patience that is needed when you're cooking up something, Shyam Motwani's journey reminds us that it's all about being very, very mindful and purposeful. And it's clear that under his watch, safety is not something that's just intelligent, but also deeply human. Thanks for watching this episode of Leaders in Focus. I'll see you in the next one.